Romance of the Three Kingdoms, Chapter 65.
So Liu Bei is making good progress in Yizhou.
Right.
But then, a new player complicates things. Zhang Lu. His advisor, Yan Pu, actually tells him, look, don't help Liu Zhang, it's a bad idea. Pretty sensible advice, really.
Seems like it.
Yeah, but then someone else steps up. A big name, Ma Chao.
Ah, yes. Bouquet Ma Chao.
Hmm.
His reputation precedes him.
Exactly. And his entrance is pure drama. He makes this incredibly bold promise. She says basically, give me troops, I'll take Jiaming Pass, beat Liu Bei.
And then force Liu Zhang to give you 20 states as thanks. Quite the offer.
Zhang Lu is, well, thrilled. He immediately gives Ma Chao 20,000 soldiers. Ma Dai, Ma Chao's brother, goes along too. Oh, and Yang Go is a supervisor.
And just think about the strategic weight of that. Ma Chao's name alone, it's practically a weapon.
Right.
It shifts the whole dynamic. It shows how fragmented things were, how alliances could turn on a dime, and how personal honor or maybe obligation could drive huge strategic decisions.
Definitely overrides that pragmatic advice Yang Pu gave.
Completely.
Meanwhile, back where Liu Bei is, near Luocheng, Liu Zhang gets some advice. Some pretty ruthless advice, actually.
Ah, Zhengdu's plan.
Oh, yeah.
The scorched earth idea.
Yeah, basically burn everything, move all the people west of the river, dig in deep, and just wait Liu Bei out. Don't fight him directly.
It's strategically sound in a brutal sort of way.
Liu Bei and Kongming. They hear about this, and they are seriously worried. They see that if Liu Zhang actually does this, their campaign is in deep trouble. Perilous, as the text says.
It really raises that tension, doesn't it? Ruthless strategy versus, well, maybe looking after your own people.
But Fizhang, one of Liu Bei's advisors who used to work for Liu Zhang, he's not worried.
No, he knows Liu Zhang.
He predicts Liu Zhang will definitely not use it. And he's right. Word comes back. Liu Zhang refused. He won't displace his people like that.
And that's such a key moment. Fizhang understood Liu Zhang's character, his values. He knew that would dictate the strategy, not just cold, hard military logic.
It's a huge relief for Liu Bei.
Yeah.
And Kongming, he sees the opening immediately.
Always ready to adapt.
He says, okay, let's go. Advance quickly. Take Mianzhu. If we get Mianzhu, Chengdu is within reach. Suddenly, the path looks clear again.
Thanks to Liu Zhang's, well, principles.
So, Mianzhu is the next target. Liu Bei sends two of his best fighters, Huangzong and Wei Yan.
Formidable warriors, both of them.
They get there, and Fei Guan sends out Li Yan with 3,000 troops. Huangzong fights Li Yan, and it's a serious duel. 40, 50 rounds, the text says, and no clear winner.
Intense.
And this is where Kongming steps in again, strategically.
Right. He sees this isn't just about overpowering Leon. Huangzong is tough, but Leon is holding his own. Brute force isn't the easy answer here.
So Kongming orders a retreat, not because they're losing, but because he's got an idea.
He's adapting again. He recognizes Leon's skill and pivots. It's smart. It's about using cunning, not just power.
He pulls Huangzong aside and lays out this plan, a trap.
The classic feigned retreat.
Exactly. Tomorrow, he tells Huangzong, fight him, pretend to lose, and lure him into this specific mountain valley, where of course Kongming will have troops waiting.
Textbook ambush.
So the next day, Leon comes out again, maybe a bit confident after holding off Huangzong.
Probably, yeah.
Huangzong engages, fights for maybe 10 rounds, then turns and runs, just like planned.
And Leon takes the bait.
Hook, line, and sinker. He chases Huangzong deep into the valley, and then bam, he realizes he's walked right into it.
The trap springs. Wei Yan's troops pop up, blocking the way out.
And up on a hill, who appears, but Kongming himself.
Right. Calling down to Leon.
He gives him the choice, surrender now,
Oh!
or face our crossbows.
Right.
And then he adds that little psychological jab.
In revenge for Pang Shiwan, reminding him of Pang Tong, Liu Bei's strategist who died earlier in this campaign.
Ouch. It's brilliant, really. Tactical trap plus psychological pressure. Guilt, fear, the works.
And aimed at getting surrender without more fighting.
And it works perfectly. Leon gets off his horse, takes off his armor, surrenders right there. No one else gets hurt.
Which is also key. Liu Bei treats him well afterwards. Generously.
Because he's not just conquering land, he's trying to win over the people, the officials. Hearts and minds, you could say.
And that generosity pays off almost instantly, doesn't it?
It really does. Turns out, Leon is actually close to Fei Guan, the guy still holding Mianzhu. Even though Fei Guan is related to Liu Xing's wife, I think.
Yes, something like that. But Leon offers to go talk to him.
He goes to Fei Guan and basically says, look, Liu Bei's benevolent. Resisting is just going to lead to disaster. You should surrender.
And Fei Guan listens.
He does. He opens the city gates. Miaozu falls without another fight.
It just shows strategic diplomacy, building that reputation for being, well, decent. It can be as effective as an army.
Absolutely. So, Liu Bei's in Miansu, planning his next move towards Chengdu. Things are looking up.
Then
Yeah. Urgent news. A messenger arrives, practically breathless.
the shooting star express rider, you know it's serious.
Meng Da and Hue Jun, the guys defending Jiming Pass way back. They're under heavy attack. Ma Xiao attack,
And not just by anyone.
sent by Zhang Lu. The message is blunt. Send help fast, or the pass is lost.
And losing Jiming Pass would be a huge setback. It guards a key route.
Liu Bei is, understandably, very alarmed. This could unravel everything.
It's a real crisis moment.
All right.
Ma Chao, his reputation alone is terrifying. Kong Ming knows this immediately.
Yeah, Kong Ming sizes it up fast. He says, basically, okay, to deal with Ma Chao, we need Zhang Fei or Zhao Yun.
Two absolute powerhouses.
But Zhao Yun isn't there. He's off on another mission. So
Yeah.
it has to be Zhang Fei.
Obvious choice skill-wise. But calming, he knows Zhang Fei. He knows his temperament.
He does. So instead of just saying, Zhang Fei, you're up,
Yeah.
he decides to, well, provoke him. A bit of reverse psychology.
Classic Kong Ming, master psychologist.
Zhang Fei hears about Ma Xiao attacking, and he bursts in all fired up, ready to go fight. Let me at him!
Predictable Zhang Fei, always eager for a fight.
But Kong Ming just pretends not to hear him. Ignores him.
Huh. That must have driven Zhang Fei mad.
And Kong Ming deliberately says to Liu Bei, loud enough for Zhang Fei to hear, Ma Chao. It's a tough one. Nobody here can really handle him. Guess we'll have to send all the way back to Jingzhou for Guan Yu.
Oh, that's low. But brilliant. Pushing all of Zhang Fei's buttons. Pride, rivalry with Guan Yu.
Zhang Fei explodes. He's furious. What are you talking about? He reminds them about Changban Bridge holding off Cao Cao's entire army single-handedly.
You think I'm scared of some punk like Ma Chao?
He calls Ma Chao a mere common fellow. The disrespect. But Kong Ming's bait is working perfectly.
Kong Ming keeps pushing it, though. He dismisses the Changban thing, says, Cao Cao didn't know the real situation then, basically implying Zhang Fei got lucky or bluffed his way through.
Doubling down. Amazing.
Then he starts talking up Ma Chao. Remember Weybridge, those 6 battles. Make Cao Cao cut off his beard, throw away his robe, nearly killed him.
He paints Ma Chao as this unstoppable force of nature.
Building him up into a legend right in front of Zhang Fei.
He finishes by saying Ma Chao is no ordinary foe, and maybe even Guan Yu couldn't beat him.
That's the final straw for Zhang Fei.
Absolutely. He's incandescent. He basically says, I'm going NNW. If I fail, I'll accept the military consequences. Full commitment.
Exactly what Kong Ming wanted. Maximum motivation.
Kong Ming finally agrees, appoints him vanguard. But he also asks Liu Bei to go along with the army, probably to keep an eye on Zhang Fei.
Wise move. Zhang Fei needs supervision sometimes.
And Wei Yan, never one to miss out on potential glory, volunteers to go too.
He probably wants another crack.
So the relief force sets out. Wei Yan takes the lead with 500 cavalry scouts. Then Zhang Fei. Liu Bei brings up the rear.
Heading straight for Jiaming Pass.
Wei Yan gets there first and runs into Yang Bo, Ma Chao's supervisor general. Wei Yan beats him pretty quickly in less than 10 rounds.
Okay, quick victory for Wei Yan.
But then Wei Yan gets maybe a little ahead of himself. He pursues Yang Bo, hoping to grab the first big credit.
Ambition strikes again.
He runs into Ma Dai. Wei Yan thinks it might be Ma Chao, so he charges.
Uh-oh. Mistaken identity on the battlefield. Rarely ends well.
They fight for a bit, less than 10 rounds. Then Ma Dai turns and pretends to flee.
Another feigned retreat. Seems to be the theme here.
Wei Yan falls for it. He chases Ma Dai, and Ma Dai spins around and shoots him with an arrow. Gets him right in the left arm.
Ouch. That's what happens when you're too eager, I suppose. A painful lesson in battlefield awareness.
But just then, who arrives at the pass?
Zhang Fei. Perfect timing.
He hears the fighting, sees Wei Yan is wounded, and boom, he comes charging down from the pass like thunder, saves Wei Yan.
Dramatic entrance, as always.
And then Zhang Fei yells at Ma Dai. It's classic Zhang Fei. Who are you? Tell me your name before we fight.
He has a certain protocol.
Ma Dai says, I'm Ma Dai of Ziliang, and Zhang Fei just scoffs. Oh, so you're not Ma Chao. Go away. You're no match for me. Go tell your boss Ma Chao that Zhang Fei, the man from Yan, is here?
Just pure, unadulterated trash talk. Love it.
Ma Dai is enraged, obviously, charges Zhang Fei. Bad move. Zhang Fei beats him in under 10 rounds, and Ma Dai flees.
Zhang Fei is clearly warmed up now.
He wants to pursue Ma Dai, but Liu Bei arrives just then.
The voice of reason and caution.
Yeah, Liu Bei stops him, says something like, "Hold on, let's rest the troops. We'll deal with Ma Chao himself tomorrow."
Smart. Don't let Zhang Fei get carried away in the heat of the moment. Conserve energy for the main event. Patience as a weapon, again.
So the stage is set. Next morning. Boom. Drums thunder. Ma Chao's army arrives at the pass. Liu Bei is up on the walls, watching.
The moment everyone's been waiting for.
And Ma Chao rides out. The description is amazing. Lion helmet, beast belt, silver armor, white robe. He looks incredible.
Just radiates power and skill.
Even Liu Bei, looking down at his enemy, is impressed. He says people call him Brocade Ma Chao. Now, I see why. It's no empty reputation.
High praise from an opponent. It shows Ma Chao's sheer presence.
Zhang Fei, down below, is practically vibrating. He wants to charge right now.
Of course he does.
But Liu Bei holds him back. Not once, but multiple times. He tells Zhang Fei, basically, let him wait. Avoid his sharp edge. Wait till the afternoon, when his men are tired, when that initial energy fades.
That's really astute leadership from Liu Bei. Understanding the psychology of battle, the rhythm, the energy levels. Don't meet peak force with peak force if you don't have to. Wait for the advantage.
Finally, mid-afternoon, Ma Chao's troops are visibly less sharp, maybe a bit weary from standing ready all morning. Then Liu Bei gives the signal. Zhang Fei goes out with 500 riders.
The wait is over.
Ma Chao sees them coming, pulls his main force back a bit to give himself space. Zhang Fei gallops forward, spear level, and bellows, "Do you recognize Zhang Yide, the man from Yan?"
The challenge is issued.
Ma Chao shouts back something like, "My family have been nobles for generations. Why would I know some village nobody like you?" Oh, the insults are flying. Setting the tone, pride versus pride.
And then they charge. 2 horses, 2 spears. Clash.
The duel begins.
And what a duel. They go at it hammer and tongs, over 100 rounds, and still no one has a clear advantage.
Incredible stamina, incredible skill on both sides. Liu Bei is watching, just amazed. Truly a tiger general, he says about Ma Chao. But he's also worried about Zhang Fei. It's incredibly intense. So he signals for the gongs to sound retreat, pull them apart for a breather.
100 rounds. That's just staggering. But it's not over, is it? This is a test of will as much as skill.
Not by a long shot. Zhang Fei rides back, rests his horse for a moment, takes off his helmet, just ties a cloth around his head.
Getting serious now, less armor, more agility perhaps, or just pure fury.
And rides straight back out. Challenges Ma Chao again.
Wow. The sheer determination.
Ma Chao's not backing down either. He comes out, and they go at it again. Another 100+ rounds. And the text says they both fought with even more spirit this time.
Unbelievable. They're pushing each other beyond normal limits. This isn't just fighting. It's about breaking the opponent's will, showing who refuses to yield.
Finally, Liu Bei decides this has gone on long enough, maybe too dangerous. He actually puts on his own armor, rides down to the battle line himself, and orders the retreat again. Forces them apart.
He steps in personally to end it, recognizing it's become a potentially destructive stalemate. Or maybe just preserving his general.
Yeah, separates these two incredible warriors before something permanent happens. What a confrontation. A duel for the ages, ending, for now, in a draw.
Jiming Pass, it's late in the day. Liu Bei's forces are confronting Ma Chao's.
The tension must have been palpable.
You'd think so. And Liu Bei, known for his foresight, he advises his, let's say, often impetuous general, Zhang Fei.
It's putting it mildly sometimes.
Right. He tells him to pull back for the night, says, Ma Chao is brave, do not underestimate him, let's retreat to the pass, we'll fight again tomorrow.
It's pragmatic advice,
Yeah.
Sensible, really, preserve your strength.
But Zhang Fei, well, driven by this intense battle lust, he's just not interested in retreating.
Not his style.
The text makes it so clear he's just spoiling for a fight. He cries out, I swear I won't go back.
You can almost hear him shouting it.
Exactly. And then he escalates, demanding, light more torches, arrange a night battle. His spirit is just unyielding.
Incredible energy.
And what's remarkable is Ma Chao matches him. He matches that defiance.
No hesitation.
None. Replaces his horse, accepts the challenge for a night battle, vowing, I win you not, I swear not to return to the camp.
Wow. So the stage is set.
Completely. Both armies then light up the battlefield with thousands of torches.
Turning night into day. What a visual.
It's truly dramatic. So under this, artificial daylight, these two titans collide.
And they go at it. How many rounds?
Over 20 rounds of just fierce combat. But then Ma Chao formidable warrior that he is, he seems to realize something.
That maybe a straight fight isn't the way.
Exactly. He realizes a direct victory against the Zhang Fei might not be possible. So he shifts tactics, he pretends to be defeated and flees.
Ah, the feigned retreat. A classic maneuver.
Right. And as Zhang Fei, probably full of adrenaline, chases him, Ma Chao pulls a surprise move.
Okay, what happens?
He secretly pulls out a copper hammer and suddenly turns to strike.
Whoa, out of nowhere.
Totally unexpected. Potentially lethal. Fortunately, Zhang Fei is on guard. He manages to dodge.
Close call.
The hammer just whizzes by his ear. So Zhang Fei then kind of mirrors the tactic. He retreats himself.
They're into the tables.
Yeah, and as Ma Chao gives chase, Zhang Fei takes a shot with his bow.
Does it hit?
No, Ma Chao dodges it too, expertly. So both return to their lines.
Okay, that initial exchange, it reveals so much about them, doesn't it?
It really does.
You've got Zhang Fei's raw ferocity, almost reckless courage, like a force of nature.
Absolutely.
But then Ma Chao shows a different kind of strength. There's a cunning there, a willingness to use deception.
Which might surprise some people, yeah.
It's a stark contrast in fighting styles, definitely.
It is. And just as things could escalate further, into an even deadlier fight, Liu Bei steps in.
The leader intervenes.
And he fundamentally changes the dynamic. From his position, he calls out to Ma Chao, declares, "I treat people with benevolence. I do not use trickery."
Ah, playing the virtue card.
Totally. He then offers a truce. Withdraw your troops and rest. And he promises not to pursue.
Now that's interesting, using his reputation.
Exactly.
It's like his reputation is the weapon here. He's appealing to a sense of honor, sort of disarming Ma Chao with the moral high ground.
A calculated move.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Very calculated. Designed to resonate with Ma Chao, who, likely values his own reputation too.
Really?
Does it work? It does. Ma Chao hears Liu Bei's words, and he personally covers the rear as his army withdraws.
And Liu Bei's army also retreats. So, an honorable pause.
Yes, but it's more than just a pause. Liu Bei's intervention, it's clearly laid the groundwork for something else.
A different kind of engagement.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Liu Bei isn't just stopping a fight, he's planting a seed. He's showing Ma Chao, look, there's another way to lead, another kind of strength beyond just, hitting things hard.
Which is crucial for what comes next, right?
Absolutely crucial. It sets the stage perfectly for recruitment, not conquest. Winning hearts and minds, essentially.
Okay, so the immediate battle is paused. Zhang Fei, predictably.
Still wants to fight.
Oh, yeah. He's chomping at the bit to go at Ma Chao again the very next day. But before that can happen, a pivotal figure arrives.
Don't tell me. Zhu Liang.
The one and only. Liu Bei's brilliant strategist, he arrives precisely when needed.
Perfect timing.
Yeah.
And he sees the danger.
Immediately. He recognizes the risk of continuing this head-on conflict with Ma Chao.
His assessment here is just incredibly sharp. He tells Liu Bei, I have heard that Ma Chao is a tiger general of this age.
Acknowledging his strength.
Right. If he fights to the death with Yaid Zhang Fei, one of them will surely be injured. He's worried about losing Zhang Fei or unnecessarily harming Ma Chao.
Makes sense.
He even explains he rushed there, leaving other key generals like Zhao Yun and Huang Zong behind.
Just to prevent this.
Specifically to prevent this mutually destructive loss.
So his objective is clear. Save Zhang Fei, but also get Ma Chao.
Precisely. Bring this tiger general into their fold. And Liu Bei, for his part, he wants this too. He asks, I admire Ma Chao's bravery greatly. How can we get him?
He sees the value, needs the how.
And this is where Zhu Liang's, his genius for intricate, multi-layered strategy just shines.
No direct confrontation.
No. He knows fighting Ma Chao into submission might cost too much. Maybe even cause Zhang Fei. So he devises a plan using external factors.
Okay, lay it on us. What's the plan?
It's a masterpiece of manipulation, really. Zhu Liang knows that Zan Lu, the ruler of East Sichuan, has ambitions.
Wants to be king of Hanning, right?
Exactly. And crucially, Zhang Lu's advisor, a man named Yang Song,
Uh-oh, what about him?
is extremely greedy for bribes.
There's the key.
That insight into human nature, that's the linchpin of the whole strategy.
So how does he use it?
It's elegantly deceptive. First, Liu Bei sends someone via a small path to Han Song, quietly,
Do what?
to bribe Yang Song, lavishly. Gold and silver.
Get him on side first.
Right. Once Yang Song is swayed, then they send a letter to Zhang Lu himself.
What does the letter say?
It claims Liu Bei's war in Jishuan is actually to avenge you, Zhang Lu. And it urges him not to believe any words of alienation.
Building trust or fake trust.
And then the big promise. After the matter is settled, I will ensure you become the king of Hanning.
Wow, that's bold.
It's essentially a double-pronged attack. The immediate goal: get San Lu to recall Ma Chao's troops from Jiming Pass.
Pull him away from the fight.
Exactly. Then, the subsequent ultimate goal.
Yeah.
Once Ma Chao is isolated and recalled, they can then use a trick to persuade Ma Chao to surrender to Liu Bei.
Setting up the dominoes.
Perfectly put. It's classic Zhu Zhiliang.
Liu Bei must have loved it.
Oh, he's greatly pleased, the text says. Immediately drafts the letter. Dispatches Sun Qian with gold and pearls.
And Sun Qian finds Yang Song.
Finds him, delivers the bribe. And as expected, Yang Song is greatly pleased.
Quickly arranges a meeting with Zhang Lu.
Does Zhang Lu buy it?
Initially, he's a bit skeptical. He asks, how can Liu Bei, just a left general, deliver on making him king?
A fair question.
But Yang Song, now thoroughly bought, steps in, assures Zhang Lu that Liu Bei, as an imperial uncle, is perfectly positioned to petition the court for him.
So the bribe worked. Yang Song persuades his own lord.
It highlights how easily an advisor's loyalty can be swayed by greed, doesn't it? Even against a ruler's initial doubts.
And Zhang Lu agrees.
He's convinced. Greatly pleased, again. Immediately sends an envoy to recall Ma Chao's troops. Phase 1, done.
Okay, so the recall order goes out. But now things take a dramatic turn for Ma Chao.
He doesn't just pack up and leave. No. Sun Town is waiting back in Hanzhong, and the first report comes back. Ma Chao replies, he has not yet achieved success and cannot withdraw his troops.
Still focused on the fight. Defiant.
Exactly. Zhang Lu sends messengers a second time, then a third time. But Ma Chao stubbornly refuses. He wants to finish this.
Oh, that defiance is going to be costly, isn't it? Given Yang Song is waiting in the wings.
It gives Yang Song exactly the leverage he needs. He goes straight to Zhang Lu.
And says,
unleashes this devastating accusation. This man has always been untrustworthy, and his refusal to withdraw his troops means he certainly intends to rebel.
wow. Straight for the jugular.
And he doesn't stop there. He then spreads rumors.
What kind of rumor?
That Ma Chao intends to seize Sichuan, make himself its ruler, avenge his father, and is unwilling to submit to Hanzhong.
A calculated, brutal smear campaign.
Yeah.
Designed to completely destroy Zhang Lu's trust.
Absolutely. It's brilliant in its cruelty. Zhang Lu, now really distressed by these rumors and Ma Chao's defiance, asks Yang Song for advice again.
Letting the fox guard the henhouse.
Pretty much. And Yang Song, with ruthless efficiency, lays out an impossible ultimatum. The 3 conditions.
What are they?
He advises Zhang Lu to send an envoy giving Ma Chao a 1-month deadline. In that month, Ma Chao must 1. Take Sichuan.
The whole province. Impossible.
2. Bring Liu Zhang's head.
Also impossible.
And 3. Force back the Jingzhou army, Liu Bei's army.
3 impossible tasks in a month.
And if they aren't met, Ma Chao must offer your head.
It's a death sentence disguised as a mission.
Absolutely. And to make sure Ma Chao can't even argue, Yang Song simultaneously advises Zhang Lu to order Zhang Wei to deploy troops to guard the passes in case Ma Chao's troops rebel.
Blocking his retreat even before he knows he needs to retreat.
Exactly. Zhang Lu follows the advice, sends the envoy with the conditions.
How does Ma Chao react?
He's greatly startled, exclaims, how could things change so much? He talks with his cousin, Ma Dai. They quickly decide it is better to withdraw our troops.
But it's too late.
Way too late. Yang Song again spreads rumors that Ma Chao's withdrawal itself proves he has sinister motives.
He's just twisting everything.
And just as Ma Chao tries to retreat, he finds the mountain passes sealed. Zhang Wei has deployed 7 divisions to firmly guard them.
So he can't go back to Hanzhong.
Can't go back, can't really advance against Liu Bei under these conditions. He's utterly trapped, unable to advance or retreat with no recourse.
Completely isolated and betrayed. Wow.
This whole sequence, it's just a masterclass in information warfare. How easily trust is shattered when ambition and greed are in play.
And Ma Chao, the fierce warrior, undone not by a sword, but by lies and strategic isolation.
It really highlights how crucial it is to understand the political game, not just the battlefield.
It's an incredible demonstration. Even the most powerful individuals can be maneuvered into a corner by a well-orchestrated political scheme. His pride, his refusal to leave Jiaming Pass,
became the very thing Yang Song exploited.
Precisely.
So seeing Ma Chao in this, dire predicament, Zibi Liang makes a bold proposal.
What does he suggest?
He tells Liu Bei, now Ma Chao is in a dilemma. I will use my 3-inch unrotting tongue to personally go to Ma Chao's camp and persuade him to surrender.
He wants to go himself
Oh.
into the camp of this cornered, desperate general.
Yep. But Liu Bei, ever protective of his strategists,
Says no way.
vehemently refuses. Says, sir, you are my heart and lungs. If anything were to go wrong, what would I do? He insisted Zhu Jiliang not go.
Recognizing the huge risk, it shows how much he values Zhu Jiliang.
Definitely. But it also creates a new challenge.
Yeah.
Okay, if not Zhu Jiliang, then who can persuade Ma Chao?
And just him.
Perfect timing strikes again. While they're deliberating, a report arrives. Zhao Yun has sent a letter recommending someone, a person from Sichuan who wishes to surrender. This person is Li Hui, courtesy named Diang.
Li Hui. Wasn't he advising Liu Jiang before?
He was. Liu Bei asks that very question. Why is Li Hui, who previously bitterly advised Liu Zhang, now coming to him? It's a fair check on loyalty.
How does Li Hui respond?
His answer is incredibly insightful, shows his wisdom. He says, essentially, good birds choose a tree to roost in. Wise ministers choose a lord to serve.
A classic saying.
He explains his advice to Liu Zhang was his duty, but since it wasn't taken, he knew Liu Zhang would fail. Now, he says, the generals Liu Bei's benevolence and virtue are spread throughout Shu, and I know your cause will surely succeed, so I have come to join you.
Wow, a clear-eyed assessment, not just blind loyalty. Very articulate.
Brilliantly put. And then, hearing about Ma Chao's situation, Li Hui immediately volunteers.
To go persuade him.
Yes. He says, now I hear Ma Chao is in a dilemma. I had a brief acquaintance with him in Longji, and I am willing to go and persuade Ma Chao to surrender.
He has a prior connection. That's useful.
Exactly. Zhu Diang is understandably greatly pleased. He remarks, I was just looking for someone to go in my stead.
Perfect alignment of need and opportunity. Li Hui is the ideal diplomat for this.
And then the final stroke, maybe intrigue. Li Hui whispers his arguments to Zhu Jiang.
Whispers them. We don't get to hear.
Nope. The text just says Zhu Jiliang is greatly pleased again and immediately dispatches him.
That omission is powerful, isn't it?
It really is.
It tells us Li Hui's plan, his arguments, were so compelling, so tailored to Ma Chao's psychology and situation.
That Zhu Jiliang trusted him instantly.
Exactly. Didn't need a public explanation. It underscores the trust in Li Hui's diplomatic skill. Ma Chao, a warrior whose name alone once terrified Cao Cao. He's now in a really precarious spot, sort of adrift after some setbacks. And into his camp walks Li Hui, bold as brass, a diplomat on a mission that could, frankly, get him killed. This isn't your standard diplomatic chat, is it?
No, not at all. Ma Chao, he's known for his fierceness, but also deep suspicion. He knew Li Hui was a skilled talker, so much so, apparently, that he had 20 axemen hidden under his tent, ready to, butcher Li Hui if his words were incoherent or, insulting.
What?
It really tells you something about Ma Chao's desperation and the pressure he felt. Here's this powerful guy, but he's cornered, jumpy, a warlord without a clear next step, really.
So Li Hui walks into this minefield, basically, surrounded by hidden executioners. And instead of playing it safe, he confronts Ma Chao directly. He just straight up tells him his misfortune is not far. And even implies Ma Chao's own sword might be turned on himself. That's audacious.
It's a huge risk, absolutely. But a brilliant one. Li Hui gets that Ma Chao isn't just looking for allies. He's wrestling with his own identity, his failures. By starting so directly, Li Hui shows he's fearless. He's not there to flat. He's there to speak truth. Then he does this masterful thing, weaving in these universal truths, like Shizi's beauty cannot be hidden, or the sun declines after noon, the moon wanes after full. This is the constant rule.
Okay. Setting a baseline of undeniable reality first.
Exactly. Establishing this foundation that even someone as proud as Ma Chao can't really argue with.
And then he applies that same cold logic to Ma Chao's own situation.
Yeah.
And, he doesn't pull any punches. He lists everything, right? The blood feud with Cao Cao over his father.
The bitter hatred back in Longji.
Yeah.
And all his failures. Systematically. He couldn't save Liu Zhang, couldn't stop Jingzhu's army, couldn't control Yangsong, couldn't even get a proper meeting with Zhonglu. It's like a clinical breakdown of every single misstep, every defeat. Leaves Ma Chao with basically zero wiggle room.
So after just hammering him with all this, Li Hui delivers what sounds like the final psychological blow.
He does. He calls him isolated across the 4 seas without a master. it carries this immense weight. It's not just physical isolation. It's like total political and moral homelessness, a complete lack of standing.
Wow.
It's stark. Then he throws in the past defeats, Weibridge, Zhisheng, asking, what face do you even have left? It just strips away everything, Ma Chao's pride, his honor, and Li Hui hasn't even made a direct threat himself.
So how does Ma Chao take this? Sitting there in his tent, hearing his life basically ripped apart.
It's devastating. The sources say he has this moment of realization, admits he has no way out. It's complete psychological surrender. He sees the truth Li Hui's shown him. And then, almost casually, Li Hui points out the hidden axeman.
Oh, brilliant timing.
Right. Ma Chao is utterly ashamed. His pride just crumbles. He waves the axeman away immediately. That's the pivot point. His defenses are down. He's ready to hear another way.
And then Li Hui switches tactics, doesn't he? Offers him a way out instead of just pointing out the dead end. He pitches Liu Bei as this virtuous lord, someone who welcomes talent, respects people, even mentions Ma Chao's own father allied with Liu Bei once. That's clever, appealing to honor and history.
Exactly. He urges him to abandon darkness and turn to light, Bei onto Ming. To avenge his father, yes, but also to build his own glory under a worthy leader. It's a compelling future.
And Ma Chao bites.
Bites hard. The reaction is immediate. He's overjoyed. Doesn't just agree, he acts. He grabs a sword, executes Yang Bai right then and there, literally cutting ties with his troubled past.
No hesitation.
None. Then he takes Yang Bai's head, goes with Li Hui, and surrenders to Liu Bei. It's dramatic, symbolic, a violent declaration of, I'm all in.
Okay, so Ma Chao is now in Liu Bei's camp. This must have sent shockwaves, right?
Yeah.
Huge morale boost for Liu Bei's side.
Oh, absolutely massive. Liu Bei handles it perfectly, too. Welcomes him personally, treats him like an honored guest, not like some defeated enemy crawling back.
Right, respecting his status.
Which clearly resonates with Ma Chao. He says that famous line, meeting a wise lord is like seeing blue sky after parting clouds. Shows you how much hope this gives him.
That's strategically. This is huge for Liu Bei.
Monumental. Ma Chao's reputation alone is a weapon. A warrior who genuinely scared Cao Cao. That demoralizes enemies. Plus, he brings his own forces and undeniable military prestige. It significantly tips the balance of power.
And Liu Bei's willingness to embrace him. That says something, too.
It does. Shows he values talent and loyalty over old grudges. A key part of his leadership appeal.
Then we get this incredible, almost cinematic moment. Liu Bei is hosting Ma Chao at Mianzhu. Zhao Yun and Huang Zong are there.
Yep.
And news arrives. 2 enemy generals, Lu Jin and Ma Han, are on their way.
And what happens next is just astonishing. The speed, the decisiveness. Zhao Yun basically says, I got this, volunteers to capture them, rides out, and comes back before the feast is even properly settled, presenting both their heads at the table.
Again, seriously, before the food got cold.
Pretty much. It's this almost legendary display. Breathtaking speed and skill. You have to think it was partly a performance.
A demonstration for the new guy.
Exactly. A way to show Ma Chao, this is the caliber of warrior you've just joined. Overwhelming might. Executed flawlessly.
And Ma Chao's reaction.
The text says he's astonished, utterly blown away, develops an even deeper respect. Seeing that kind of power right there at the dinner table, it must have completely erased any lingering doubts.
Yeah, I'll say.
And then, fired up by this, Ma Chao makes this incredibly bold offer to Liu Bei. He says, basically, you don't even need to fight anymore. Let me handle Chengdu.
Just like that.
Yeah. He says he'll call Liu Zhang out, try to get him to surrender, and if not, he and his brother Ma Dai will take the city themselves and hand it over.
Wow. Talk about wanting to prove your worth immediately.
Exactly. It shows his newfound loyalty is intense, and he's brimming with confidence now. He wants to make a big, immediate contribution.
And Liu Bei must have been
delighted. Absolutely delighted. He's just gained a top general and potentially a bloodless path to the capital city.
Okay, so let's switch gears then. What's happening inside Chengdu with Liu Zhang? Things are looking pretty grim for him.
Yeah, grim is putting it mildly. His defeated soldiers are returning, reporting the bad news. Ma Chao's defection must have been a huge blow. Liu Zhang's dismayed, orders the city gates locked tight. But then, this confusing report comes in. Ma Chao's rescue army has arrived.
A rescue army. After he just defected. That makes no sense.
Right. Maybe a flicker of desperate hope for Liu Zhang. He dares to go up on the wall and look out.
And sees.
Ma Chao, all right, but definitely not there to rescue him. He's outside the walls with Ma Dai, calling for Liu Zhang. Ma Chao quickly explains, Zhuang Liu listened to slander, tried to harm me, so I joined Liu Bei. Surrender now, spare the people, or we attack.
Oh, man. The guy he thought might save him is now the one demanding his surrender. The psychological blow must have been immense.
It was. The sources say Lu Zhang turns ashen and literally faints right there on the city wall.
Faints.
Wow. When they revive him, he's lamenting his unclear judgment. And he makes the call, surrender, to save the full city's populace.
Seems pragmatic given the circumstances. But was it just fear?
Well, that's the interesting question. One of his officials, Dong He, argues against it fiercely. He points out, hey, we still have over 30,000 soldiers, enough supplies for a year. Militarily, they could hold out.
But Lu Zhang doesn't go for it. His reasoning is quite moving, actually.
It really is. He says something like, my father and I, we've ruled Shu for 20 years, but we haven't shown much benevolence to the people. 3 years of war, so much bloodshed, it's all my fault. How can my heart be at peace? Better to surrender and bring peace to everyone.
It's quite a statement. Taking personal responsibility, prioritizing the people over holding on to power, acknowledging his own failures as a ruler.
It's profound. He's invoking that Confucian ideal of benevolence, reign the ruler's duty to care for his subjects, and admitting he fell short. The text says many of his officials were moved to tears. It suggests this wasn't just cowardice, but maybe a genuine moral choice, choosing compassion, finally, over more fighting.
And then just to add another layer, an astrologer steps up, Chao.
Right. Chao comes forward and backs Lu Xing's decision, but with celestial justification. He says he saw heavenly signs, stars gathering over Shu, a big bright one like a moon, an omen of an emperor.
An emperor? Meaning Liu Bei.
That's the implication. He even brings up an old children's rhyme. If you want new rice, wait for the first Lord Liu Bei to come. He basically declares surrendering as a line with the mandate of heaven. It's fated.
So providing a kind of cosmic permission slip for surrender, that must have been powerful in that era.
Hugely powerful. It legitimizes Lu Zhang's decision, makes it seem less like failure and more like bowing to destiny. Some officials are furious, want Chao executed for treason, but Lu Zhang stops them. And then the final nail in the coffin. News arrives that Zhu Jing, the actual governor of Shu Commandery, a top official, has climbed the wall and defected.
That's it then. Game over. If your own governor abandoned ship.
Exactly. Total collapse of authority. Lu Zhang, in tears, goes back to his residence. The decision is sealed.
So the next day, Liu Bei sends his strategist Jianyang into the city. Lu Zhang opens the gates. But Jianyang apparently arrives looking pretty arrogant, in his carriage, self-assured. That seems risky.
It does seem a bit tone-deaf, doesn't it? And it almost backfires. One of Lu Zhang's guys, Qin Mi, gets furious, draws his sword, and confronts Jianyang for looking down on the talents of Shu. Shows there was still pride and fight left in some.
Yikes. How did Jianyang handle that?
Very smoothly, actually. Showed some quick thinking. He immediately gets out of the carriage, apologizes humbly, diffuses the whole thing. Good diplomatic recovery.
Okay, crisis averted. Then Jianyang delivers Liu Bei's message.
Yes, and the message is key. He emphasizes Liu Bei's generosity and magnanimity. Kondong Dadu assures Lu Zhang he won't be harmed.
Playing right into Liu Bei's established brand, basically. The benevolent leader.
Precisely. It's exactly what Lu Zhang, having just made this agonizing moral decision, needs to hear. It validates his choice, makes the surrender feel less like a defeat and more like a transfer to a worthy, kind ruler. It really smooths the path for that peaceful transition. Reputation matters.
So Lu Zhang formally agrees, treats Jianyang well, and the next day, he himself brings the seals, the documents.
Yeah, the symbols of power. Rides out with Jianyang to surrender.
And Liu Bei meets him
personally, rides out, takes his hand, and apparently weeps. Says that line, it's not that I don't practice benevolence, but circumstances forced my hand.
A bit of political theater, perhaps, but effective.
Oh, definitely effective. They transfer the seals, ride into the city together. It frames the whole thing not as conquest, but as this almost reluctant, necessary, compassionate integration. Masterful PR, really, solidifying Liu Bei's image. Liu Bei finally makes his entrance into Chengdu, and the people, well, they're ecstatic. Fragrant flowers and lamps. Sounds pretty perfect, right?
Like a dream come true for him after all that struggle.
But almost immediately, like right away, we see the first little ripple. Dissent. Two officials, Huang Quan and Liu Bei, they just refuse to come out.
They just stay home.
Yeah.
A very public snub.
Exactly. Now, this next part, this is where it gets really interesting for understanding leadership. Liu Bei's reaction. It's not what you might guess.
No soldiers sent. No immediate punishment.
Nope. Instead, he puts out this chilling warning, basically saying if anyone harms these two, their entire family. Wiped out.
Yeah.
Total extermination.
Whoa. Okay, that's laying down the law.
But then he personally goes to their houses to invite them. So what does this mix tell us? This, like, absolute authority, but also personal appeal.
What's fascinating is exactly that combo right out of the gate. He uses the ultimate threat to ensure their safety and show his power, but then immediately follows with respect, personal courtesy. It sets a really clear tone. He's saying, look, I value talent even if you defied me initially. And he's showing he'll use, well, grace to bring people in, not just force.
Right. No, it's pragmatic.
Hugely pragmatic. You need to integrate these old factions somehow, right?
Yeah.
Without just crushing them and creating more resentment. It's a really bold first move.
Definitely. He
Right.
wants their loyalty, not just, forced obedience. And speaking of dealing with the old guard, Zhu Zhiliang steps right in. He advises sending Lu Zhang, the defeated ruler, off to Jingzhou.
The logic seems pretty straightforward.
Yeah, Zhu Zhiliang says Yi province cannot tolerate two masters. Seems, well, pretty cut and dry strategically.
Makes sense. Avoids having a rival power center.
But Liu Bei, at first, he sort of hesitates. He actually says, I've only just got Shu commandery. It's maybe not right to send Lu Zhang so far away yet. He sounds almost, well, soft-hearted.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah.
Concerned, maybe.
So why that hesitation, you think, when the strategy seems so obvious?
Well, if you think about the bigger picture, Liu Bei is actively trying to cultivate this image of benevolence, right?
Yeah.
He wants to be the opposite of Lu Zhang, who people saw as weak. He's building his brand, so to speak.
Yeah, okay. Reputation management.
Exactly. But Zhu Zhilang, he just cuts right through that. He basically says, look, Lu Zhang lost to everything because he was weak. If you start acting soft-hearted and indecisive now, Lord, this place might not hold together for long.
Wow. That's blunt.
It's a stark reminder, isn't it? Compassion is great, but statecraft, that needs decisive action, sometimes tough action, especially when you're consolidating power. Political reality bites.
So Liu Bei gets it. He's convinced, and he acts. But still, with that touch of grace we saw earlier.
Right. Lu Zhang isn't executed or thrown in jail. He gets treated with respect, a big feast, he keeps his valuables, gets a fancy title, General Who Shakes Might.
Sounds impressive, even in defeat.
It does. And then he's sent off with his family to Gongan in Nan Commandery. It's like a key outpost, but it's still a remarkably lenient way out for a defeated enemy.
Very different from how these things often went down. And then Liu Bei formally makes himself governor of Yi province.
Exactly. Decisive, but not cruel. That helps his image. And then comes the next big step. Rewarding everyone. A massive distribution of gifts and positions.
And it's not just his own guys, right? It's all the officials who surrendered too.
Yes, that's key. Over 60 names mentioned. People like Yan Yan, Fa Zheng, Dong He, even the two who initially refused, Liu Bei and Huang Quan. They all get positions, plus, of course, his loyalists. Zhu Zhiliang, Zhang Fei, Zhao Yun, Huang Zan, Ma Chao, Wei Yan, the whole crew.
Okay, and his sworn brother, Guan Yu, he gets something pretty special, doesn't he?
Oh, yeah. Exceptionally lavish.
Yeah.
We're talking 500 caddies of gold, 1,000 caddies of silver. Get this, 50 million cash.
50 million. That's an insane amount of money back then.
Almost unimaginable. Plus 1,000 bolts of fine shoe silk.
Wow. Okay, so this is way beyond just a thank you gift, surely. What's the message Liu Bei is sending with rewards this huge, especially to Guan Yu?
Oh, absolutely strategic. It's about cementing loyalty, obviously, rewarding that long service, but it's also a massive display. It shows off the new regime's generosity, its wealth, its capability.
Look how well we're doing.
Precisely. The scale, especially for top guys like Guan Yu, reinforces their status, binds them closer. It demonstrates stability, which is crucial if you want to win those people's hearts we talked about. He's showing that being on his team pays off big time.
Makes sense. Build loyalty, show strength. And it wasn't just the elites either. The source says the regular soldiers got feasts, slaughtering cattle and horses, and they opened the granaries for the common folk.
Right, relief for the people who'd suffered through the wars.
And the result? Army and people greatly pleased. Sounds like phase 1 of consolidation was a pretty big success. He's building goodwill everywhere.
Seems like it. A very strong start.
Okay, so the celebrations are probably still going on, and Liu Bei gets another idea. He wants to give out the prime real estate in Chengdu, these famous properties, to his officials.
Seems logical, right? Another way to reward loyalty, keep the key players happy.
Exactly what I was thinking. But then Zhao Yun steps in, one of his most trusted generals, always seen as, very upright, and he has a totally different perspective.
Yeah, Zhao Yun actually advises against it. He says basically, look, the people here in Yi province, they've suffered through years of war. Their fields are empty. Their houses are destroyed. We should give this land back to them so they can rebuild their lives.
Wow.
And he adds, then we'll truly win the people's hearts. It's not right to just take it for private rewards for us.
And Liu Bei's reaction. He greatly rejoices and follows the advice immediately. That's a really powerful moment, isn't it?
It really is.
What makes Zhao Yun's advice so, well, impactful? And why is Liu Bei so quick to agree, even though it means not giving his top guys this big perk?
I think this shows a really profound understanding of governance, long-term versus short-term gain. Giving land to officials, that's the traditional conqueror's reward. But Zhao Yun gets it. The real foundation of a stable state is its people.
Uh-huh. Secure the base.
Exactly. After all that war, their immediate needs, shelter, food, stability, are everything. Liu Bei accepting this shows real political wisdom. He's choosing long-term popular support over, instantly gratifying his inner circle.
It connects right back to that idea of winning the people's hearts through justice and actual relief, not just words.
Absolutely. It's about building something that lasts generations, not just winning the current political game.
Okay, so the state is taking shape. Next up, laws. Zhu Zhiliang drafts new laws for governing Shu, and they're described as quite strict.
Heavy penalties.
Which seems a bit counterintuitive, maybe. You'd think after a war you might want to go easy, win people over with leniency.
Right, and that's exactly what Fa Xiang argues for. He's another key official, remember?
Yeah, he brings up Emperor Gaozu's famous 3-chapter law, which was super simple and lenient after the really harsh Qin dynasty. He suggests Zhu Zhiliang should maybe relax the laws a bit, comfort the people's hopes.
So you have this clear clash of philosophies right there. Strict order versus comforting leniency.
So why is Zhu Zhiliang pushing for strictness? What's his reasoning?
Well, his response is frankly brilliant. He tells Fa Xiang, you know one thing but not the other. He argues that context is everything. Gaozu's leniency worked because the Qin were tyrants. People craved relief. But Liu Xing's rule in Shu, it wasn't tyranny, it was weakness, there was no real governance, punishments weren't enforced, order broke down. So Zhu Zhiliang believes what Shu needs now isn't leniency, it's structure, authority.
Different problems need different solutions.
Exactly. He says, I'll govern with authority through law, and when law is actually implemented, people will appreciate grace. I'll set clear ranks, and when ranks are respected, people know honor. With both grace and honor, you get proper order.
So it's about restoring respect for rules and structure first, because that's what was missing.
Precisely. And the source says, Fa Xiang bows in admiration. He gets it. And after this, apparently, order is restored, the region settles down, 41 prefectures pacified.
That really drives home the point, doesn't it? Governance isn't some cookie-cutter thing. You have to tailor it to the specific situation, the history, the political climate.
Absolutely. What works in one place or one time might be disastrous in another.
Okay, but things get complicated again, fast. Zhu Zhiliang sets up these strict laws, and then Fa Xiang, the guy who argued for leniency, now he's the prefect of Shu Commandery, and he starts using his power for, well, personal payback.
Yeah, the text says he's repaying every old score, a kindness of a single meal, or a grudge of a glare. He's settling accounts.
So a top official is basically ignoring the spirit, if not the letter, of these new strict laws for his own vendettas. And someone actually complains to Zhu Zhiliang. They suggest Fa Xiang should be, reprimanded slightly.
Seems reasonable, right? Uphold the law you just established.
You'd think, but what does Zhu Zhiliang do?
This is another masterclass, but in pragmatism this time. He doesn't punish Fa Xiang at all.
Really? He defends him.
He does. He reminds the complainer, look, back when our Lord Liu Bei was stuck in Jingzhou, Cao on one side and Sun Quan on the other, who helped him break out, who gave him the strategy to soar freely. It was Fa Xiang.
Pointing to past loyalty and crucial service.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And he concludes, how can we possibly forbid Fa Xiang now from, acting out his wishes just a little bit?
Wow. So Zhu Zhiliang basically gives him a pass. That seems like a total contradiction to the strict legal framework he just argued for.
On the surface, yeah, it looks contradictory.
So what's the deeper takeaway here about leadership? Is it just hypocrisy?
I don't think it's hypocrisy so much as, it raises that tough question about balancing principles against personal loyalties and, frankly, indispensable talent. Zhu Zhiliang knows Fa Xiang was absolutely critical to getting Shu in the first place. The whole enterprise might have failed without him.
Okay, so maybe some things are more important than rigid adherence to the rules.
Perhaps. Maybe Zhuge Liang figures letting Fo Zhang blow off a little steam, settle some old scores, is a small price to pay for keeping such a vital, loyal ally happy and functional during this super-critical state-building phase.
It shows that even strict systems might need a bit of human flexibility. Leaders sometimes have to look the other way for the bigger picture.
It seems so. And interestingly, the source adds that Fei Zhang, when he heard about Zhuge Liang defending him like this, actually restrained himself a bit more afterwards.
Huh. So Zhuge Liang's approach, even though it seemed lenient, actually worked in a way, managed the person effectively.
Looks like it. Understanding human nature, maybe, as much as law.
Speaking of human nature and big egos, we get this amazing moment involving Guan Yu, Liu Bei's sworn brother, legendary warrior.
Fiercely proud. Unbelievably proud.
Right. So he sends his son, Guan Ping, not just to say thanks for those incredibly lavish gifts we talked about.
The gold, silver, cash.
Yeah, all that, but also to deliver a message. A challenge, basically. Guan Yu has heard about Ma Chao, this other powerful general who recently joined Liu Bei.
Also a renowned warrior. From a famous family.
And Guan Yu announces he wants to come all the way to Shu just to compete with Ma Chao in martial arts, like a showdown.
Oh, boy.
Liu Bei is greatly alarmed. He says if those two actually compete, they will be irreconcilable. Why such a big deal? Isn't a bit of a rivalry, like healthy competition, maybe good for warrior morale?
But if you connect it to the bigger picture, this is way more than just a friendly sparring match. This is a potential collision of two massive egos, two huge figures in the army.
Okay.
Ma Chao is this vital new ally, key to holding the Western territories. Guan Yu is, a foundational pillar of Liu Bei's power, revered by many. A direct clash. It could split loyalties right down the middle, create dangerous factions.
Undermine the unity they just built.
Exactly. Unity is everything, especially now.
Yeah.
This could destabilize the whole new state before it even gets properly on its feet.
Right. Okay, much more serious than just a duel. So Zhuge Liang steps in again. He offers to write a letter back to Guan Yu, and Liu Bei is nervous, tells him to write fast because he knows that Guan Yu can be impatient, impulsive.
Yeah, better handle this quickly and carefully.
And the letter Zhuge Liang writes, it's legendary for a reason. Listen to this. I hear you wish to determine superiority with Ma Chao. He acknowledges the challenge. In my estimation, though Ma Chao is exceptionally heroic, he is merely a figure like King Bu or Peng Yu.
Okay, so name-dropping some famous but ultimately second-tier figures from history.
Right. Then he says Ma Chao can compete with Zhang Fei, Liu Bei's other sworn brother, but he is not yet equal to the peerless and extraordinary general with the fine beard.
The fine beard. Guan Yu's famous nickname. So he's putting Guan Yu not just above Ma Chao, but even implying he's a cut above Zhang Fei. That's some serious flattery.
Oh, yeah. Pure ego stroking, but then he pivots. Now you are entrusted with the important task of guarding Jingzhou. Critical region, remember. If you were to enter Shu and Jingzhou were lost, the crime would be immense. I only hope for your clear understanding.
Wow. That is masterful.
Isn't it? How does he pull that off? Smoothly handle that massive pride while still delivering the essential strategic message. Stay put.
It's brilliant psychology, really.
Yeah.
First, he massages the ego. He builds Guan Yu up, makes him feel completely validated, superior even. Then, once Guan Yu is feeling good and receptive, he delivers the crucial point about strategy and duty. Jingzhou's too important. It allows Guan Yu to back down without losing face. He gets to feel like he's choosing the responsible, strategically vital path because he's just that important.
And it works perfectly. Right.
Like a charm.
Yeah.
The text says Guan Yu strokes his famous beard, laughs, and says, Zhuge Liang knows my heart. And he drops the whole idea of going to Shu. Problem solved. Diplomacy wins.
Incredible. So, okay, internal fires seem damped down for the moment. But just when you think Liu Bei might actually be getting settled in Shu,
Uh-oh. There's always something else, isn't there?
seems like it. Over in eastern Wu, Sun Quan hears the news. Liu Bei has conquered Shu. Lu Zhang is out, sent off to Gongyan.
And Sun Quan remembers something.
He certainly does. He immediately calls in his advisors, Zhang Zhao and Gu Yang, and reminds them, Liu Bei borrowed my Jingzhou.
Ah, yes. The long-standing issue. The borrowed province.
Promising to return it after taking western Shu. Now he has 41 prefectures of Bashu. It's time, Sun Quan says. We demand the hands-on commanderies back, and if he doesn't return them, we go to war.
Boom. The other shoe drops.
Right. This isn't just about land anymore, is it? It feels like it's about that broken promise, the shifting power dynamic. Sun Quan sees Liu Bei getting stronger and stronger.
And feels it's time to call in that debt. Or maybe feels threatened.
Yeah, and it just completely sets the stage for the next round of conflict.
And it's fascinating how quickly that external pressure mounts, isn't it? Right after Liu Bei seems to have stabilized things internally, it really highlights that constant geopolitical chess game they were all playing.
No kidding. Jingzhou was always a sore point, and now Liu Bei's success just makes it impossible for Sun Quan to ignore anymore. It foreshadows so much trouble to come.
Definitely. External threats never sleep, even while you're celebrating your wins.
And get this. Zhang Zhao, Sun Quan's advisor, actually advises against starting a war immediately. Instead, he proposes a cunning plan, a scheme to make Liu Bei offer Jingzhou with both hands.
Without fighting. Now that's intriguing.
A plan to get the province back without shedding blood. That is a perfect cliffhanger, isn't it? Perfectly captures the endless scheming and maneuvering of the three kingdoms.